Almost 20 years ago, John Paul II landed at Newark Airport. He was limping, but still resilient. He had cried for humanity's failures at Auschwitz and Hiroshima, pleaded for peace in Rwanda, and waged a battle against communism across the world. He had visited 129 nations, but this trip was different. It was October 4th, 1995, the start of his final visit to New York.
Power of example carries with its heavy responsibilities. Use it well, America.
Perhaps the visit that echoes most in the hearts of Brooklyn and Queens residents was Pope John Paul II's Mass at Aqueduct Racetrack on a sunny October day.
Holy Father, the Diocese of Brooklyn is truly blessed by your presence here at Aqueduct.
A racetrack may seem like an odd setting for a religious ceremony, but it didn't take away from the spiritual ambience cast over the crowd.
We are mindful of the words of your predecessor.
Everyone walked away with everlasting memories, others with precious memorabilia of St. John Paul. Walking by St. Mary's Church in Long Island City, Queens, you wouldn't even realize that inside lies the altar that Pope John Paul II, soon to be saint, celebrated Mass at the Aqueduct Racetrack.
After we received it, it was cut into 3 parts. The main altar was very long when it was at Aqueduct. Then we received it here, and they cut the tabernacle stand and the baptismal stand from the main altar. And then the ambo is the original one that was used at Aqueduct as well.
After seeing all this, I was on a mission to find out who made all these beautiful pieces. The truth is, the man behind it all has been working in Brooklyn for over 50 years. Tony D'Ambrosio of D'Ambrosio Ecclesiastical Art Studios was asked by then Bishop of Brooklyn, Thomas Daly, to construct the masterpiece at Aqueduct. The studio had been family-owned and operated for over 60 years. The bishop knew he was well qualified.
I feel it was a big privilege that Bishop Daly gave me to be able to do that. In fact, when the Mass was over, the bishop and the Pope descended from the platform and they went to greet the people. And as they walked toward the cardinals, which was very exciting, the bishop told the Pope that we were the ones that did the work on this altar. So he turned around and came to my wife and I first, and then went to the other priests. So that was really exciting. All the cardinals turned to see where's he going. You know.
Since Tony commissioned the project himself, the Brooklyn native wanted to keep the pieces in the borough. No doubt about it.
Bishop Daly asked me what we were going to do with it, and I said it's going to go to Brooklyn churches. And he said, fine.
There were also some hidden features to D'Ambrosio's altar. It provided a shield for the Pope if tragedy struck.
An iron box, which the Secret Service delivered to our place, in order that the back be open. In case of some incident, the Pope could go underneath it and be safe.
St. Mary's isn't the only church in Brooklyn with precious memorabilia from the day.
White stone, St. Luke has the altar stone in the center of the altar. And the music stand is at St. Matthew's and Utica and Eastern Parkway.
Like all New Yorkers, Tony will forever remember the Pope's visit to the Aqueduct.
The excitement of it all was just tremendous, and it took months before we came out of the thrill of it, the shock of it. It's a big thrill for me to know I not only shook hands with a Pope, but also a saint.
For Currents, I'm Michelle Powers.
To whom the Son wishes to reveal him, come to me.